Okay, meeting called to order at 7:18. First order of business are the warrants. I have warrant P-3, fiscal year 2012, in the amount of $31,668.03. That's payroll, retirement. Any questions on that warrant? Let me know. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. We all sign one.
No, we signed this one. You can keep that for your records, though. One of those are the original. You guys have one of the originals on this next one. Okay, there it is. That's the original. Okay, the next warrant is V-3, fiscal year 2012. And that is in the amount of $75,819.98. Building account in support of the district. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye. Sign it.
Yep. Good one. Anyone from the auditors? No. You're going to take the... These are all set. Just make sure Mr. Foster gets those. That's yours. Okay, minutes of the prior meeting. I have the minutes of August 8th, 2011. I was on vacation, so I'm going to abstain.
Motion to accept and file.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All other minutes, with the exception of June 8th executive session, are current. And that takes care of that. The next building. Anything on the building?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, Procurement Officer Dumont's not here. He's waiting for the roof contractor to call the building inspector and get it inspected before he will authorize the treasurer for payment. So he's still waiting for them. And with your board's permission, we'd like to have the duty guy, some of the white trim was not part of the contract that needs to be paid. So if your board gives the authorization, there is money in the building account to have the duty person and one other, so they can get on a ladder and paint all the remaining white trim. That way the exterior of the building will be all set.
It appears that our quote did not include covering all the aluminum, all the trim with aluminum, which is our intention originally. So would we rather have it painted, or should we get a quote to finish trimming it out?
I would think that we should get it done, we're gonna finish one way or another. Which would never be the cheapest way if we do it ourselves. I mean,
Well, we won't do it ourselves, but we'll have to tell the procurement officer that we want it completely. It was my impression that everything was being covered, and because of the way one of the lines read in the
wasn't some of that supposed to be done in that plastic board anyways?
Yes, it is. It is. It just,
Yeah.
the word rotted areas was used. So the contractor only covered the rotted areas. They replaced it and covered the rotted areas. So the areas above the doors but below the panels were not rotted. The corners of the building were not rotted.
So now they need to be
So-
sprayed or painted.
They need to be coiled or painted. Personally, I'd like to see it get coiled, covered with aluminum and done.
Well, when's the next time that area would be repaired, shingling or something else? Is there like a 5-year window for the shingles in that area? 10-year window?
No, everything has just been done. This is the tail end, so now it needs to be either painted or covered, and the building will be hopefully done for quite some time. So,
Seems reasonable.
okay. If you can let Mr. Dumont know that we would like to have that covered with aluminum instead.
Coiled.
Coiled,
I
correct.
will call him first thing in the morning, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Because we still have money left in that, from that warrant, that we can use to finish the job. Thank you. Drug and alcohol test. Any news on that? There's a form in my box that was addressed to you that was dated to be filled out and returned by July 1st.
Correct, that is for payment. That would have to go, legal counsels who wrote that policy. My recommendation would be to your board, because your board spearheaded it, would be to remove the random alcohol testing. Because we have a very tightened SOP on reasonable suspicion. It's very costly on sending individuals on a call department when they walk in at 3 o'clock in the morning for a fire to go sit in St. Luke's for 3 to 4 hours for a test. So if my recommendation would be at the next meeting, have Attorney Murray, who wrote the SOP, at that meeting. That way, both sides can come to an agreement, and I'll redo the policy on it. We'll still keep the random drug testing.
And we can discuss with him the possibilities of following the Mass DOT instead of the
Correct.
instead of the federal. I believe we're following it.
We're following the federal with a little caveat to it, being a call department, that the way it was written, as soon as the chief sees you at any department function, which would mean a clam bake, if your name came up, you were to immediately go to the testing site for testing, whatever time that was. And unfortunately for this department, the majority of the time was after 4 when they closed, so the firefighters were sitting there. If you went during the day, you were in and out in 10 to 20 minutes. You went at night, we had some individuals sit there for 5 hours because they had to page out the tester, come in, and run the test.
So we'll discuss that with Attorney Murray. Okay. The next thing on the agenda that we need to address, and we need to start doing something here in this department, is the IT department. We don't have an IT department. We have a person who helps us with IT, and he has written a letter with some suggestions as far as what to do. So I'm actually going to ask him to speak about it. Mr. Stasio.
First thing that the district needs to think about is purchasing a new server. Right now, the district's basically all the data information is saved on the chief's computer, and it's just a regular desktop computer. It pulls all of our calls for the past 3 or 4 years, I believe. What I would like to see, and I believe the district should actually invest in, would be a document server. A document server basically would hold all the information of the district onto a main server, which can be accessed off any computer in the department. It also would hold permits, any type of paper documents that we can eliminate. Anytime the chief goes out on an inspection, instead of having a paper document and store it somewhere downstairs in the basement of his office and hold it for 7, 8, maybe 12, 13 years from now, it would all be held into this server. Also, we would need a document scanner. We do have that also in there as well. The phone system in the district also has been recently upgraded. We're now on a digital network with Comcast, we're no longer with Verizon. The fire alarm system is now working off the district's network. So we've done quite a bit right now, but the thing that I do need to see get changed in order for this division to actually move forward would be with the approval of the fire chief and along with your board's cooperation to have somebody maintain all this, also the website as well. Pretty much where we stand right now.
Mr. Chair?
Oh, sorry.
Just real quick. Mr. Stasio mentioned we switched from Verizon to Comcast.
Yeah.
In doing so, we ended up getting more lines, better service, and I believe we're saving $100 and something a month, give or take, with a switch. And the main reason was when Verizon was on strike, we lost our lines, and it was a 2-month before Verizon would come out. So compliments to Mr. Stasio. He ended up spearheading Comcast coming in here rather quickly and getting us back up online.
One other quick thing, also this proposal in there for a new communication tower. Apparently the tower we have right now is overloaded with antennas that actually are insufficient for the district. We lost one this last storm. We lost an antenna, and we also have an antenna on top of the tower that's actually insufficient. It's doing nothing. It's just a wire dangling from it. The proposal would be to replace it, put a new one up. This proposal actually was submitted back in 2009 to that previous board. Apparently, from what I'm understanding, that proposal still stands. So that's just something if your board can look over and probably discuss. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, what I'd like to do, we'll look through this, we'll discuss it further at our next meeting, and maybe we'll be prepared to make a vote on the computers, and we have to look into the tower itself. Okay, the next item on the agenda, mutual aid.
What that is, right now we have a bylaw that says the members are covered. If we go to another jurisdiction for mutual aid, that is a state adopted law. There's a section there for the Prudential Committee to sign. It does not have to go to district warrant. The Prudential Committee has the authority to authorize the members to go to mutual aid. And what that does is if they go out of state, which we have gone to Tiverton and Little Compton, the members will be covered because we're going out of state.
So you need one signature, all signatures?
I believe it would be your board take a vote on it, and then the chairman would have to sign it and date it. And then I would deliver it tomorrow morning to the select board's office.
Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next on the agenda, correspondences. Do we want to discuss that? Do we want to make a motion? What's that?
You can take them out of order if you want to discuss the other issues first.
Yes. Okay. Okay. The next two items on the agenda actually go hand in hand. And in light of a recent bit of information that this board has received that is pretty substantial, has a direct bearing on these next two items, we almost feel, I feel as the chairman, we may want to discuss this at an open meeting as soon as possible, but most likely Monday of next week I could post a meeting. Is there a problem with my
I can make
board?
myself available.
Okay. So I would want to invite everyone here back on Monday if that's what my board sees fit to vote on. Do I have a motion to table the next two items until Monday? Yes, the next two items are pertaining to correspondences received and discuss search for and transition to permanent fire chief due to the prior vote not to renew contract of John Alcadino.
Now, why does it need to be tabled till the 8th? Is there a reason for that, or?
It would be tabled, today is the 14th. We would be looking at 7 o'clock Monday, September 19th, in order to firm up an agreement that would resolve both those issues.
I'm just not seeing why do we need to actually schedule another appointment to do it, and, you know what I mean, another meeting. I mean, I know I read a paper, yes, there was some stuff to do with legal, but, I mean, is there anything actually legal in that? I mean, that we need legal for, or?
We would be, there is quite a possibility at this time that we could resolve all the issues with minimal legal interaction between this board and all the parties that be. So by postponing it to Monday, we could save the taxpayers of this district a substantial amount of legal fees.
I'll make the motion, we move the meeting till the 19th then.
So what date?
Monday, September 19th, 7 o'clock in this room.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So at this time, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'm making a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?